Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Blue Exorcist chapter 132. When we last left our heroes, we spent about the first half of the chapter focusing on Shiemi and her conflict with Amaimon. We see some flashbacks to her training, and then there's also a sense that there's even more to Shiemi's past that we have not learned yet. That Amaimon somehow knows her from the past prior to their first meeting, back in Rin revealing his identity in the Rin, that forest training camp arc. But yeah, either way, Shiemi kind of pushes through that and tames Amaimon and decides to go to where the fight against Satan is. Speaking of, it's time for a big old-fashioned strategy meeting. We have, specific squads to counter Agan and Iblis and Astaroth. We see there's a, decoy squad going to attack Satan that's Osceola and Lewin and Arthur, who is, absolutely a Lucifer clone, and Lightning does not want him there, but we're kind of stuck with him. Because his brother, Jeremiah, I think was his name, has sort of set Arthur up to come to the battlefield, which is incredibly suspicious. But it's them, I think it's one other person, and Rin, going to act as a decoy force, while Yukio, Shora, who's finally back, and all the X-Wires are going with Neuhaus to use the one weapon that can really damage Satan at all, giving Mephisto and Shemihaza, the time they need to seal Satan away, maybe for good this time. So yeah, with that, Mephisto's kind of time barrier peters out, and the battle begins at last. So let's jump right on into chapter 132 of One Cloth Eruption. And we have this color cover of the enemy forces. For the Demon King, Satan is not said there, which is interesting enough. It was pretty interesting to me. It's just Demon King. We have King of Rot Astaroth, King of Fire Iblis, King of Light Lucifer, and King of Water Agan. It's a really good picture. I like it a lot. Anyway, let's jump right on in to the chapter. There we go. For some reason it wasn't working all of a sudden. Anyway, we open on this big explosion. I think I think this is the barrier kind of crumbling. As the demon forces are now able to kind of move again, time has continued, and they are advancing their assault. And then we see, so this is Lightning saying Shemihaza's boundary zone is called Enpera, and it destroys any living thing it touches. And we see people, I think this is our side, moving towards the demons and kind of jumping off this sort of cliff face. So I was about to say, is he getting at, our forces are dying? Because we see this shot of someone's foot in something that might be part of the Enpera, not quite sure. But Lightning continues, but the special anti-demon armor protects us. And then we see this, beam come in front of some of the exorcists. Oh no, it's not a beam. It's one of Iblis's fire giants with this, fire spear. Whoa, fall back! And he slams the spear into the ground. The exorcists are all kind of sent flying if they're not burned alive. Actually, they're not burned alive, as they all kind of note, I'm alright. This armor's a lifesaver. Oh, the anti-demon armor also protects against Iblis, of course. Now we can fight as if we're invulnerable. And Iblis notes that they're surviving. I don't understand. Where does a mere Nephilim get the power to generate such immense divine protection? So in Nephilim, I know we've heard the term before, is what, a half-demon? Is Shemihaza then meant to be a half-demon? Let me do a quick Google search of the word Nephilim. Nephilims are fallen angels in some traditional Jewish explanations of the term, that as they show up in the Hebrew Bible. I think I saw when I typed in Nephilim link to the Exorcist wiki. Half demon. Okay. So I guess she's saying that Shemihaza is a Nephilim, because Shemihaza is the one who gave them the armor, which is a whole other slew of questions. But it's either one of the lieutenants reporting, or one of the Illuminati guys reporting to Lucifer, or it's Lucifer's explanation. They're drawing upon the crystallization of Shemihaza, the Emperor of Creation. However, it is no more than borrowed strength. Yeah, this is Lucifer. And we see there's like this tree that the Shemihaza squad is all kind of like protecting. We see, I'm guessing this is the old Shemihaza Shiemi is about to come in and replace. Because I did kind of question, could that earlier Shiemi scene be before Shemihaza shows up? And, we'll have the surprise, Shemihaza was Shiemi. But I'm guessing what's going to happen is this Shemihaza will burn up, or die in some way. As Lucifer says, it will not last long. And then Shiemi will come in and be like the replacement Shemihaza. Anyway, Mephisto responds to that. Apparently he can hear that far away. Well, of course not. Shemihaza's protection will last for about an hour. So make sure you get some results by then. And everyone kind of responds to that. Okay, we got an hour before we kind of die. And then someone calls in, hey, big bro Samael. And it's Beelzebub, who is just adorable. And Mephisto looks at him, you're as cute as ever, Biel. You usually stay neutral, so what swayed you? Well, this may be annoying, but if I don't get involved and Lucifer wins, it'll be an even bigger pain in the ass. So, Beelzebub we don't really know a whole lot about yet. So I don't know why Lucifer's victory would be a pain in the ass. Anyway, Mephisto just kind of swoons, wooey, you're adorable! And Beelzebub kind of puffs, well, of course I am. And then Mephisto sort of sends off Beelzebub. Look, Beelzebub, a faux saint, a dumb shark, his sultry sister, and a demon king who needs to grow up. Go hit him with your cuteness. So it's really easy to figure out who the faux saint, dumb shark, sultry sister, and the demon king are, obviously. But where is Astaroth and all that? Because, that's Lucifer, and then Aegon, and then Iblis, and Satan. But no Astaroth? Anyway, Beelzebub kind of pouts, well, if I have to, ahem. And then he kind of raises his voice. In the name of Beelzebub, king of insects, I hereby declare that no kin of insects may join Satan's army. And all the insect demons kind of like murmur to themselves, because they can apparently communicate. Now that their king is sort of told them they're on the wrong side of the war. And I will forever shun any who do. And then Mephisto chimes in, I, Samael, the king of time, hereby declare ditto! Such a Mephisto way of phrasing that. Too bad no kin of time are here. But that's not super helpful. And then we hear something that makes Mephisto say, oh my. I'm not quite sure. It looks like something going down in the earth. Oh, it's Amaimon! Oh, hey, Am, is Beelzebub's line. And Mephisto looks down. Shemihaza finally summoned you, huh? You don't look pleased, hehehe. So, okay, how is this all matching up with Shiemi? Because, because there was a mention, I think, that Amaimon was sort of like a fragment Amaimon. That was, that there were, the base Amaimon body is sealed in the crystal. There's the Amaimon fragment that's like the student at True Cross. And then I think the Amaimon that Shiemi tamed was a separate Amaimon. So did Shiemi send that Amaimon to the battlefield? Or is this another fragment of Amaimon still tamed by Shiemi? I don't know. Anyway, Mephisto looks down. Shemihaza finally summoned you, huh? You don't look pleased. So is that... Because I mentioned earlier that I thought that this Shemihaza was not Shiemi. But Shiemi is the one who tamed him. So maybe that already is Shiemi? Maybe? I don't know. Anyway, Maimon then says to his servants, I, Amaimon the king of earth, hereby declare the same. You can join the other side, but I'll show no mercy. So be prepared. And all the demons kind of react to that as the exorcists call, look! The demons that are kin of earth and insects are retreating. So yeah, that kind of cut a swath out of the satanic forces there, which is a good start, I will say. So yeah, and we have this nice 2-page spread. I like the detail on all the demons on there. Like we can really there's just a lot of them, and you can tell there's a lot of them. And Satan looks at all of this mad. Lackeys. Why do you obey kings and not a god? And some of the exorcists were fighting. That helps. Now the fighting is easier. And then Satan says to his generals, "Hey, the Exorcists are using your powers in the battle. Why don't you make similar declarations?" But Iblis tells him, "I'm sorry, Father, but demons who are the familiars of humans are outside our authority." So yeah, this is a really strong start for the Exorcists. I'm sure something bad will happen sooner or later. And Mephisto kind of teases Satan. "The relationships between demons are full of subtleties, Father." And Satan laughs. "Oh, really? Thanks for the instruction, but I'll win anyway." And then we get this kind of panel of, like, fog. I'm not quite sure what the point of that is. And then we see someone saying, "These robes..." So we're back inside Shemihaza's barrier. I guess this is Shemihaza's barrier because the time barrier is gone. So I think I did misread this earlier. I think this is the Empera, which, now that I say that out loud, feels super obvious, and I can't believe it took me basically 10 minutes to reach that conclusion. Anyway, these robes are sewn with holy cloth woven in the heavenly garden of El. They will preserve physical strength and cheat the demon's eyes to make you harder to find. They're also effective without the hood up. So we're seeing this is what the support squad has. This is Neuhaus and Shora and Yukio and the X-Wires. And Yukio puts on some headphones that go with it, I guess. "These will be handy." And Shora calls back, "Okay, team, are you ready?" "Yes, ma'am." And then Yukio turns to Rin. "Rin, will you be alright? It's my fault you're not in top condition." And Rin is sort of confused there. "Huh? No, I'm mostly back to normal." So yeah, Yukio's a little bit worried, obviously, because he kind of shot Rin a few times. But Rin's fine, apparently. And Rin tells him, "Besides, this isn't all your fault, so don't worry. This is my problem. Now I'll go make it easier for you to do your thing by raising hell with Satan himself." That just feels like a classic Rin declaration, and I am here for it. And I think that's Bong calling back, "Good luck, Rin!" And I think that's Izumo, "Don't be too reckless!" And Rin, as he runs, says, "You can count on me!" And Yukio watches with determination and turns to the group. "Now we roll out too." "Yes, sir!" And we see Shima's just tired. Aw, man. And Shora is just raring to go. "Yes!" I think there's Neuhaus in the corner there, just sort of standing. Anyway, we see Rin leaves the Empera barrier and jumps off the cliff, flying down into a mass of demons. One of them rushes for Rin, and I think he just punches through it. The Coma Sword is still sheathed. And it's these, like, narwhal-looking things. I'm guessing they're kin of Aegon. But either way, Rin's fire is working on them. Maybe because it's more satanic than natural fire. Anyway, more narwhals are approaching. And Rin is just beating them all. He uses flames kind of get into the sky, and he looks over the battlefield. Just the huge, like, sea of demons. Even with the kin of insects and earth gone, Satan's army is absurdly huge. But Rin goes to draw the Coma Sword. He unsheaths it, still bladeless. I thought the blade sort of was reborn, but maybe it was just like a blade made of flame now? Sort of like Excalibur and Fire Force. I feel like it's one of those things that I should know already, but I kind of forgot about at some point. Anyway, Rin says, "I have tamed you. So, come forth." And we have and we see Rin goes back into something similar to the white-haired form he had during SSC and the Yukio fight. But now also with, I don't think he had the long ears earlier, though he might have. And there's a hint of black to the underside of his hair that wasn't there in the white-haired Rin form. Anyway, he has tamed the Coma Sword now, and its blade extends, and he readies the fight. He goes to this... Oh, so he sees Satan on this octopus mount he has. Rin readies his blade and yells, "Satan! Slash!" And he uses like a projectile sword slash that comes towards Satan, and Satan just says, "Phew." And the slash kind of dissipates there as it like hits the ground, and Satan laughs. "Mwahaha! Hello, son." And Rin just sort of counters, "Who are you calling son? Anyway, that outfit of yours is totally lame." That ends our chapter. Blue Exorcist will go on break and is scheduled to return in the May 2022 issue of Jump Square. So yeah, I had kind of heard about that. I had not heard any like actual reports. I saw like a meme someone made about rumors. But don't completely despair. Despair a lot, don't get me wrong. The May issue of Jump Square comes out in April. Like, this chapter that came out on July 1st, is in the August issue of Jump Square, so it's only 9 months without Blue Exorcist, and not 10. But yeah, let's take a look at this chapter. Because for our big pre-hiatus chapter, there's not a lot to dig into that I can see. It's just sort of a battle chapter. You know, there's a little bit of Beelzebub and Amaimon, and sort of trying to pick at where Amaimon is right now. If this is like, you know, if this is Shiemi who has sent him. Mephisto says Shemi Haza, so is the Shemi Haza here Shiemi? Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, that does give us a good win with, you know, 2 full sets of demon armies leaving. Not wanting to piss off Beelzebub or Amaimon. But then, yeah, the battle kind of continues again. We see Rin's squad and Yukio's squad set out. And then once Rin leaves, Yukio's squad doesn't quite set out yet. But Rin does. And he just kind of spends the last 7 or 8 pages just causing havoc. Which is good. It's a good bit. And I appreciate him calling out the slutty Satan outfit. Like, that's a good bit. Yeah. But yeah, that's all there really is here. You know, there's none of the plotting of last chapter. There's none of the you know, like when I heard that this would be a pre-hiatus chapter, I was like, are we gonna get this a cliffhanger of like Arthur and Lucifer at all? But we don't see them at all, despite the fact that they're supposed to be on the same squad as Rin, him and Lewin and Osceola. But we don't see any of them. We don't see any Shiemi. We don't get much of anything besides, you know, Amaimon and Mephisto and Beelzebub and then Rin. So it's sort of a light chapter for our big 9-month break. I mean, it's not like, I'm not complaining in the same way I complain about a Black Butler chapter that does nothing because I'm just tired of its bullshit. Like, this is an important chapter, or it's not like super important chapter, but it needs to be here. It's not really fluff. It's not filler. It's just sort of setup. It's a lot of setup. That's the thing. I'm just a little bit. If this were, you know, see you in a month, I'd be like, all right, it's even short for a chapter. It's only like 27 pages as opposed to, I think 37 is our normal page length, our chapter length. And there's just not a whole lot here, which is kind of annoying when there's 9 more months until the next chapter. And I heard some rumors that like Kato is making a new short series that will air over those 8 months. And maybe if I find that, I'll review it in those 8 months, just to kind of like have Kato on my channel. Maybe not. We'll see. But yeah, this chapter overall, it's fine. It's there. When it's one of those things that like when this is a full volume, I won't really mind too much. But being like, this is all the Exorcist you get for 9 more months, it sort of rubs me the wrong way. Either way, still excited for Rin and Satan. Excited for all the things that last chapter teased with Shiemi and with Arthur. But yeah, for now, this is sort of the opening throes of the battle. And that's really all there is to it. So I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe. You know, do whatever makes you happy, you know? And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!